in the heart of the greenest forest, where the sunlight sparkled through the leaves and the river sang softly, a group of animals had a very important job. They were called the Forest Cleanup Crew, and their job was to keep the forest tidy, shiny, and happy. The crew was led by Toby the tiger, who wasn't fierce at all. He was gentle, kind, and always wore a bright yellow hat. His friends were Millie the mouse, Ellie the elephant, Penny the parrot, and Freddie the frog. Together, they made the forest sparkle. Every morning, Toby would blow his little whistle. "Tweet, tweet! All right, crew?" he called. "It's a brand new day. Let's make the forest shine." The animals all cheered. "Let's do it!" Toby looked at his checklist. First stop, the riverbank. The team marched off together. Stomp, hop, flap, pat, pat. When they reached the river, they saw a few old leaves floating on the water. Ellie smiled. "I'll take care of that." She dipped her trunk into the water and swoosh, blew the leaves right onto the shore. Millie the mouse scurried over, carrying a tiny broom. "Sweep, sweep, all clean." She squeaked. Freddie the frog inspected the rocks. "Perfect for hopping now." Boing. Then Penny the parrot swooped overhead, singing loudly. "Clean and green, shiny and bright. We'll make the forest sparkle in light." The friends all clapped their paws, wings, and tails. "Great job, team," said Toby. Next, they headed to the picnic meadow. It was one of the busiest spots in the forest, where the animals gathered to eat, play, and dance. But oh dear, today, it was messy. There were leftover berry stems, crumpled leaves, and even a half-eaten apple core. "Oh my," gasped Millie. "This looks like a big job." Ellie smiled. "No job's too big for us." Toby nodded. "Let's get to work." Ellie used her trunk to gather up the big bits, while Millie swept the smaller crumbs into a neat pile. Freddie hopped into a bucket and squirted soapy bubbles everywhere. Splish, splash, sploosh. Penny circled above, calling out, "Watch out for the bubbles!" and laughing when a few popped on her feathers. When they finished, the meadow looked beautiful again, bright, clean, and fresh. The flowers swayed as if to say thank you, and a family of butterflies fluttered by, clapping their wings in delight. "Next stop," said Toby, checking his list, "the playground near the tall oak tree." The crew marched on. When they arrived, they found that the seesaw was covered in muddy paw prints, and the swings were tangled in vines. "Looks like the monkeys had another party," said Penny with a giggle. Ellie lifted the vines gently with her trunk, while Millie untangled the ropes. Freddie hopped onto the seesaw and began scrubbing it with a sponge. Squeak! Scrub! Squish! "Don't forget the slide," said Toby, rolling up his sleeves. He polished it until it gleamed. There, good as new. When they were done, they all took turns sliding down. Whoosh! Whee! Even Ellie gave it a try, though she slid so slowly that everyone laughed. "I'm not built for speed," she giggled. After their playtime, the team sat under the tall oak for a snack. Toby passed around juicy mangoes, and Millie nibbled on sunflower seeds. "You know," said Toby, "keeping the forest clean isn't just about tidying up. It's about helping everyone who lives here." Freddie nodded. "And making it a happy place for all." Penny flapped her wings proudly. "That's why we're the best team ever." Ellie smiled. "We are indeed." Just then, a soft wind blew through the trees, and a few new leaves drifted down from above. "Oh dear," said Millie with a little laugh. "Looks like the forest is keeping us busy." Toby chuckled. "That's all right. We love our job." Their last stop for the day was the hillside path. The sun was starting to set, painting the sky with colors of pink and gold. The path was scattered with pebbles and twigs. "Let's make it safe for the nighttime walkers," said Toby. Millie scurried ahead, picking up little pebbles. Freddie sang a silly song while sweeping with a leaf broom. Ellie gently moved bigger branches out of the way, and Penny flew above, lighting the path with her glowing lantern. When they finished, the hillside looked magical. The fireflies came out, twinkling around them like tiny stars. "Beautiful," whispered Ellie. "The The friends sat together, watching the last bit of sunlight fade behind the hills. "We did it," said Toby softly. "Another day of helping the forest." Penny yawned. "Tomorrow, let's clean the waterfall," Freddie croaked. "Can we swim too?" Ellie giggled. "Of course. A clean forest and a splashy swim." As the stars twinkled above, the forest cleanup crew made their way home. Tired, but happy. Their hearts were full, knowing they'd made their forest a better place for everyone. Toby hung his yellow hat by the door and smiled. "Good night, crew," he said. "Good night," they all said together. And soon the forest was quiet, glowing under the moonlight. Clean, peaceful, and loved by the